Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and I am from Lily Rose Craft Room. And for today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to make this beautiful snowman or snow girl tumbler. Before we get started, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so you guys don't miss out on any new videos. And like always, all the products that I'm using will be listed down in the description below. Alright guys, let's get started. Alright, so the tumbler that we're going to be using today, I got it from the Stainless Steel Depot, and this is a 25 ounce stemless wine glass. And you can also find it on their website by typing in football tumbler or snowman tumbler, and that will show up. I'll leave a link in the description below for a coupon code. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of like football shaped or snowman shaped. So we're going to prep this first by sanding it. And the reason why we sand our tumblers is because you want to create a rough surface so that way the epoxy has something to grab on. Once you sanded your tumbler, it should look a little something like this, very scratched up. We got all that wax coating off, and now you can wash it in the sink and get all that debris off. The next step I did outside was I spray painted the whole entire tumbler with a white flat spray paint, and this is just a base coat of the tumbler. Next, I'm going to apply the glitter with a UV resin. I've really been liking this method better when you're applying the glitter, just because it dries very fast versus like when you're applying it with Mod Podge or with regular epoxy. It takes maybe like a couple hours to dry, but with this UV resin, you just squirt it on like the corn man squirts on the manteca on the corn, and you just sprinkle on your glitter after, and then just show it to the sunlight for a couple minutes or even under your UV light, and then it's instantly cured and you could just move on to the next step. So here I am spreading all that UV resin evenly all over the cup. And once we got the whole entire cup covered with that UV resin, we're gonna sprinkle our glitter. The color glitter that I'm using is a chunky mix of opal white. And this one was from my glitter collection. It was called Unicorn Dreams, and unfortunately I don't sell glitter anymore, but there's so many glitter sellers who have a color similar to this one. After I applied my glitter, I tapped off the excess, and off camera I went to go take it outside, and I just spun it around in the air for about 2 minutes and it was dry. Next, we're going to be moving on to the first layer of epoxy, and the one that I like to use is Alumilite Quick Coat Epoxy, and the reason why I like this one so much is because it is dry in about 3 to 4 hours, and we could apply the next step, and it just makes the process of making tumblers quick. For the first layer of epoxy, I am going to be doing 10 ml of part A and 10 ml of part B to make a total of 20 milliliters. Next, you slowly want to mix the epoxy with a popsicle stick or a stirring stick for about 3 minutes or until it's completely clear and you don't see any fogginess or stringiness. Also, the slower that you mix, the less bubbles you get. Next, we're going to evenly apply the epoxy all over the tumbler with a gloved hand. And also, you want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area with a respirator on. You're going to apply the whole entire little cup of the 20 milliliters on this first layer. Now this is about 4 hours later. I am applying the second layer of epoxy, and once again I'm using a total of 20 ml of the Alumilite Quick Coat Epoxy. I do have a discount link for this Alumilite epoxy. The code is Lily10, and I will also leave it down in the description below so you guys can take a look at it. We're just going to apply this quick coat evenly all over the whole entire cup. After that second coat of epoxy, I like to let the cup cure overnight, and in the morning it's ready for sanding. The reason why we sand the cup after the second layer of epoxy is because we need to prep it for the decals. So we got to get the cup nice and smooth, so you want to make sure you get the edges, the top rim, and the bottom of the cup, and even the center, just basically the whole entire cup. Sand it so it's nice and smooth for our decals. After I'm done sanding my whole entire cup, I take it over to the sink and I wash it with soap and water to get off all that sanding debris. I pre-cut my designs on my Cricut Maker 3, and these designs are from Creative Fabrica. I am partnered with them. So I got 10 free downloads for you guys within the first month. I'll leave the link in the description below so you guys can take advantage of that offer. Also, this vinyl that I'm using is from Tech Wrap Craft, and they have so many different color vinyls and I really like them. So this is the vinyl that I'm using. So to apply the vinyl to the tumbler, I like to use a low tack transfer tape. I forgot the name of this transfer tape, but I'm gonna find it and I'll also link it down in the description below. So just piece by piece, we're gonna be transferring the vinyl to the tumbler. When you're applying vinyl to a tumbler that's not straight, it does get a little tricky with it folding and everything and crinkling. So what I like to do is I like to cut slits on the transfer tape. That way I get a nice application without it folding on itself. And then with your finger, just slowly press the vinyl to avoid wrinkles. And once you got it on, go ahead and squeegee it on to make sure it's really adhered to the tumbler. And then you want to slowly and carefully remove the transfer tape. Next, we're going to apply the bow. Same way, you just apply the transfer tape to the vinyl, squeegee it on and peel it back. And this one from Tech Wrap Craft is called Hot Pink, and this is a glossy adhesive vinyl. Next, we're applying his little carrot nose, and this one is called Holographic Sparkle Adhesive, and this is in the color orange. Next, I'm applying a matte red pearl scarf to Little Miss Snow Lady. Next, we're going to be moving on to the back of the tumbler, and this vinyl is pretty cool. This is a textured metallic vinyl, and it's in the color Champagne Gold. And for this back piece, on the sections where I'm able to, I'm just cutting it off. That way it's easier to apply. And also cutting a lot of the white part off because, like I said, since it's a curved tumbler, it gets a little tricky. So just make it easier on yourself and cut off the excessive parts and just apply it piece by piece. That way you're not fighting with the wrinkles, and it just makes life easier. Now for the last piece of vinyl. This color right here has been my favorite color vinyl since the beginning of my crafting journey. This one right here is called Opal White, and like I said, this is my favorite color since the beginning. So with this one, I don't trust myself putting it all in one shot, so I'm cutting it into little pieces of the words, and then I'm gonna apply it word by word. I really like that gold color with that opal white lettering. It gives me like Elsa vibes. It's frosty. And then also I decided to give it some snowflakes because it looked a little plain. So I think the snowflakes gave it an extra kick to it. Now that I have all my vinyl stickers on, I'm giving it a second to last epoxy coat. So for this coat, I gave it 15 mLs of epoxy. So that's 7.5 of part A and 7.5 of part B. Makes a total of 15 mLs. And remember, with all the layers of epoxy, we give it a nice even layer all around the cup. So make sure you get the top, the bottom, don't forget any areas. This is about 4 hours later. I'm ready to give the fourth and the last coat of epoxy. So for this layer, I'm giving it a total of 10 mLs of epoxy. So 5 of part A, 5 of part B makes a total of 10. So for the last one, and just like all the coats, a nice even layer all around the cup. So now this is about 24 hours since the last coat, and now we're gonna clean up the rim. That way we're ready to use it. So with an X-Acto knife blade, I'm just gonna slowly and carefully scrape off the top layer of epoxy, and this is just gonna clean any epoxy that got stuck on the rim. So you just wanna keep rotating the cup and do this to the whole entire top of the cup. And just be careful not to scratch the tumbler, because if you scratch the tumbler, you might have to give it another coat of epoxy. So right now we're just cleaning the top. And you always got to remember, this is a major step that you cannot skip. You need to clean the rim of the cup before you use it or before you send it out or sell it. This is a step that cannot be skipped. Next, we're going to be using 100% acetone to clean the inside of the tumbler. So we're just going to dab a little bit onto a paper towel and we're going to clean the inside of the tumbler. And what this does, it takes off and removes any spray paint residue that got inside the cup. Next, after you got the inside nice and clean, you want to take it to the sink and wash it really good with soap and water. That way it's ready to use. And like always, here is the finished look. Look how beautiful this tumbler came out. It looks really beautiful with all the different colors. It definitely gives it winter vibes. If you watch this video to the end, show me by leaving snowman emojis in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. And remember, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!